greatest PPF installer.
Yeah.
We actually now refer you all of our G-Wagon clients.
I get all the I need 8 toilets wrapped. I'm like, listen, I got Hey, this is Sharif from SS Customs. We are at the Wrap Party at SEMA 2022. We have some of my personal friends, amazing group of people, rappers, rap artists, PPF artists from all over the world. We're all here, one place. Every year we get together, and this is a great opportunity for us to just have an open conversation. So it's a little bit of open mic, and we're going to start off this way, Sergey. Basically, just tell us your name, your shop, where you're from, and overall what you're doing, and if you want or care to share the size of your team. And we'll go from there. And how long you been doing this?
So my name is Sergey. You guys know. The shop name is Niel Customs. The shop is located in Michigan, in Troy. It's close to Detroit. A small shop, small team. It's only 5 of us there. And what else? What was the other question?
I think you're good, man.
They're really good. No,
Think you're expelled master? Expelled
yeah.
PPF legend?
Yeah, the greatest PPF installer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we just call you Mr. No Primer?
No one believes.
I don't use
I believe you after our last conversation.
Hilarious on the forums.
There you go. What else?
Good. We'll go back around. Don't worry.
Your life story.
Shane Oliberos, XERO Wraps Hawaii. We have a team of 5. I got my killers behind me, and we have an office lady who answers the phone and stuff like that. We primarily do PPF. We're kind of not doing color as much, so we're trying to keep paint alive.
There you go. I love it.
Nice. I'm David Wright. I'm from.
You got a mic? You guys.
Oh yeah, I got a mic. It's here. That's fine.
Yeah, you gotta put that near your accent.
I'm sorry, though.
I'm sure.
It used to be down your throat.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that anymore.
They just let him out of New Zealand.
Yeah.
Finally.
I just got let out.
The cage is then open.
Restrictions been lifted.
Yeah, and I come to Vegas. Company called the Wrap Shop. We've got 6 guys, and we mainly do paint protection and color change. So, yeah, I flew a long way to be here, and I'm flying home tomorrow. So, I'm still tired.
Jet lag. I can see it in your face.
Yeah, tired.
And you're so excited to see everyone.
Oh yeah.
He actually travels
It's
to the
just his
future.
reaction.
Yeah, I
Back
fly
to
out
the
on
future.
Thursday, travel like 17 hours, and I'm still here, and it's still Thursday.
None of it makes sense.
Wow. Nothing makes sense anymore.
And then I fly home tomorrow, and it's Thursday, and I get home, and it's Saturday. Where the fuck did Friday go?
We lost Friday.
It's the
Yeah,
craziest thing.
I know, it's wild.
Time zones are like my kryptonite.
Yeah,
I don't talk. I do not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
Can you tell us what happens in the election?
Not your election. You guys know.
How's our 90s baby doing?
So anyway, how many years have you been rapping?
I don't know. Maybe I've had the shop 8 years now, so.
8 years?
Yeah, 8 years.
You didn't bring in your crew this year?
No, just me. Yeah, just me. So, because I only come like 3 days, so it's a bit unfair to bring people here for that short amount of time. But yeah, it's only got cut short because I got a wedding on Saturday, so I land at 8 and I got the wedding at 2. So.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be great.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's my wedding. No. Yeah, it's basically me.
Nice. Well, it's good to have you, man. Represent from out there.
Oh yeah.
James Tate Design. Take long walks on the beach. Team of 3. Me, myself, and Jesse. I do have a helper, but it's just really me at the end of the day. 10 years in the game so far. In it. What else? What was the other question? Any other question?
Where you're at?
Yeah.
Doing it? There you go.
Lauderdale.
What do you mostly do?
Everything.
Chrome, Super Bowl trophies.
Everybody
Super Bowl
knows him
trophies.
as the Chrome Slayer. So
Nah,
no cars with rims that are under 32. 32 and up. 32
This is
and
so
up.
accurate.
Jams on everything.
And jams. Oh yeah, jams.
Chrome jams.
Jams on jams on jams.
Chrome jams.
Chrome jams. That's crazy.
Yeah, that wasn't nice. He did that to me
Good
once.
adaptation.
Appreciate you.
Joffrey, Prowraps from the Netherlands. I have no employees, I just hire people to do the job. So I work with the wife, she does the chrome leads, and I do the planning. Sometimes taking the cars apart. Been doing the wrapping now since 15 years. Shows since, I think, 8 years. On and off. 1 year not, and the other year full of shows and running the shop also. Mainly we do a color change, 80%, and 20% is PPF. But it's hard to find good PPF installers, so we prefer to put high pricing. He's good. I fly him in. It's hard to find good installers for PPF. So I need to do the job, but you know, as many people don't just like PPF. But we need to do it. Put the price high, people stay away. We only take the highest clients. Yeah. That's how it
I think
works.
you should start a school over there.
Yeah.
If you start teaching them, that's it.
It's possible.
I heard you could do a Rap NBA Academy, I
Oh,
think. Oh, sorry, didn't get there.
You're not up yet, right?
So that's it.
Were you? How far are you guys from each other when you fly them out?
You know, like a different country.
Tatsuya? Yeah, it's a different country. That's what I'm saying. You guys made it sound so casual.
Unless that was a joke.
Yeah, actually, how
Gave a lot
far?
too much money.
Really?
I hired him
You know,
to do the
it's okay.
PPF jobs.
That's awesome.
How far a
Every
flight?
PPF, like 10 cars a week.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah, anytime, anyway. Okay.
Front PPF, not the whole.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No, no fault.
I still
I'm
get
getting
10
Yeah.
front clips.
But he
Yeah,
works
really.
alone, it's super
Yeah.
installer, so he can introduce himself.
If you're doing 10, I'll fly you out. You got the center, okay?
I'm not leaving America this week.
I don't know.
Week, this month.
Okay, I'm DJ Tatsuya. A little bit pronounced difficult. So Tatsuya, but DJ. And I do the PPF install and making the template of the digital. So the last month is the tree contact, the new run wheel. The next month is the tooth share, made it by myself. But not so many cars because I'm enjoying to the trips in here. And the May is Germany. Anyway, it's okay. Almost COVID is finished, I think. So the next year, January is Hong Kong. Anyway, it's okay.
Nice.
So everybody, please call me.
Hire him.
Available for work.
I need a reason to going.
You're coming to New York next year.
I was gonna say, their schedule's about to get booked. 10 cars a week.
I'm not even joking. I'm lining them up. We also have a gang of tools at our shop.
Yeah.
So it's
I want
another
to
thing.
share some of the good tools. I don't need a benefit, just only the tools. Good tool can possible to good work. Very helpful.
Best tools.
That's here in Japan.
My turn?
Yeah.
Two mics.
Very smart.
No, my name is Niel. I'm from, my shop's in Brooklyn, New York. I live in Jersey now, but my shop's in Brooklyn, New York. I'm ND Vinyls, as far as what my shop's called. Also, it's called 180. That's the full shop, but people know me as ND Vinyls. I also started a group called the Wrap Society just to keep in touch with all these guys. It's just a big Facebook group community. It was the first SEMA I got together, and I was like, you know, we got to keep everybody connected once everybody met each other. So kind of came this like town square for vinyl wrappers, which I'm proud to run it till today. And, you know, it's kind of helped bring everybody together, I believe. You know, it started with Pain is Dead, and we brought the Wrap Society together just to get everybody else involved and see everybody's work all in one spot on the Facebook group. And that really just kept the connections, I feel, together aside from our little groups. As far as everyday stuff, basically a color change specialist, I would say. That's where I really started. Now we're going into heavy paint protection.
with all the exotics that start happening. Really tried to go as far as in depth as possible. You know, that was kind of one of the things I was known for, is just going really in depth, you know, taking apart what I need to take apart just to make it, and just kind of pushing the limits, you know. I feel like that was the start of it, you know, putting it out there. One of my big inspirations was Matt. He knows, you know, what he was doing out in Long Island, and he let me come to his shop and talk with him. And when I saw what he was doing, I was, you know, pushed even further. So I feel like, and he welcomed me kind of into his world a little bit. So thanks, Matt.
Appreciate it.
All right.
We actually now refer you all of our G-Wagon clients.
I get all the
Return the
G-Wagon.
favor.
They call him the
That's not really
G-Wagon
a
king.
favorite.
I get
They
all
call him
the wonderful
That's how you pay him back?
Yep.
That's some
Absolutely.
disrespect.
Hey, hold on.
Well,
Like,
He said he
resell
likes
it.
doing it.
We
He said he
resell-
likes it.
We resell it at $12,000 for him.
Oh,
We
okay.
sell it up, we tee it up.
Yeah.
We say, you gotta call him.
And now I
He's the
sent
G-Wagon.
him my phone boots and shit.
Yes, he
I
sends
think.
us awesome, random, cool.
Random cool jobs,
Key
like
club.
wrap a toilet. I need 8 toilets wrapped. I'm like, listen, I don't have
I
got
the
guy for you.
Yup, it was cryogenic frozen machines.
Cryogenic frozen.
They wanted them satin black.
Yeah,
Which
I was
is
like, I ain't
kinda
got time for that.
Yeah.
Crazy. I'm Trevor Zielinski. I own Echelon Autosports XERO Wraps in Scottsdale, Arizona. We started in 2011, so it makes 11 years. We've now got 12 guys in total, 10,000 square foot shop. We primarily, I would say now it's about 50-50. We do half of the business is color change wraps. Other half is styling and accessories. So
You say
we've-
collision?
What?
What did you say? What in wraps?
Color change.
Color
change.
Color change
Like,
wraps.
shit, are you body
Speak
shop?
English.
And then, we do a lot of styling and accessories. So like wide body kits and carbon aero and wheels and tires and exhaust and suspension, all that stuff. So we're building cars now. So it's been an evolution for sure over the years.
I love the shop setup and all the cabinets and how it's
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
under-
We spent
everything's so,
some
for my
serious
OCD, it's
time,
awesome.
I love the bar.
Yeah, the bar is great. The bar is great.
I've only seen the photos. I gotta visit them.
You should, yeah. No, we really focused on.
Nice to have desert space, huh?
Yeah. You'd be surprised at the space out there in general.
And a McLaren. That doesn't suck
I
either.
sold that.
No.
Yeah. You didn't see that? Come on.
It was the old McLaren.
Oh my God! Stop. When you said that, I died. It was so funny.
No, but we focus, like, our shop primarily, like, we focus on what our people need. Like, we want to make sure that our people have what they need to do the job the right way the first time, and we built our shop around that. So we're really proud of that.
Just tell me how it feels to have a parking lot.
Bro, the parking lot is
Really
filled
nice.
the fuck up. Like, we moved from 4,000 square feet to 10,000 square feet, and we're like, oh shit, like, we got to work on filling this building. And like 2 weeks in, we're like, we need more space. So
Never enough.
yeah.
Wow.
So no, it's been great. The evolution's been fantastic. So and inspiration from everybody at this table. So yeah, it's been great.
Awesome, man. Good to hear. Man, the myth.
Me?
You?
John Duever. I own Vinyl Images out of St. Louis, Missouri with my brother and my sister, and I also own Wrap IQ. We got 3 people on staff at Wrap IQ, and I got 21 on staff at Vinyl Images. 90%, 95% commercial vehicle graphics. We print and produce 4,000 wraps and graphics packages a year. Print them and ship them all around the country. It's fun.
Epic.
Yes, it is, man.
Yeah, it's good. Got the Wrap IQ podcast, coaching program, doing stuff. It's good. A lot of stuff.
Want to hear more about that?
Say again?
We'll hear more about that.
Yeah.
My name is Mark. I'm with Phenomenal Vinyl. I've been with Phenomenal Vinyl for 5 years. We're about a crew of 7. We specialize in color change, paint protection film, ceramic coatings, and we also do full production for commercial wraps and design in-house. I'm also with Matthew, who's also part of Phenomenal Vinyl, but we're also together in something called Wrap Envy Academy, which is a training facility that we've built in which Matthew's the lead trainer, and we have been writing curriculums for different manufacturers on how to teach their films, how to teach the installation of the films, and have been trying to become like a platform where everyone that even who we've met through this organization can use as a platform to teach the different things that we've all kind of mastered, and promote the products that we know do the best and we sell in our own shops and we use to service our customers. So it's been enjoyable meeting all you guys. And I also transitioned from a different industry into this industry, and I will tell you, it's been a blessing, and I thank you all for welcoming me in, 5 years ago, and to be here and be part of this back and see all your growth through the past 5 years has been truly, truly awesome.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you.
Good ride.
Sweet. All right, I got one on my chest. No worries.
You want to stand up?
No, definitely not. Especially, you just got to start with that, man.
You
All right,
ever
so-
panoramic sideways?
Yeah. Listen, I'll start it off right then. My name is the tallest rapper alive, or Matthew Zielinski. I'm from New York, Long Island specifically. I've been doing this for probably about, I think it's 11 or 12 years. I kind of lose count pretty much every time I think about this, but I've been doing rapping since I started. I didn't just start with rapping, I started with color change. So I started in a very weird way, but just like many of the people at this table, that's what a lot of us did from the start. We created something that didn't exist in our areas, and we made sure that we worked very hard on the craft itself. And not just the craft, but the business and understanding the aspects of it and understanding how to work together and actually put our knowledge together. And just like this table, we were able to literally just sit there and grow together. And it's been such a crazy experience to be able to sit across from people from halfway around the world, let alone that, I've stayed in their house and worked with them. I mean, I've worked with people sitting at this table and been able to really have a lot of fun through that process. And I think that one thing that we have in this industry is that we have this type of a family type of orientation. Yeah, the camaraderie is outrageous. And for me, I'll be honest, prior to anything with this, I never had that in my life. I never had that group of friends prior to being in an environment like this. And this to me is so surreal, and to be able to sit at a table like this, thank you, Sharif, because that was a really cool thing just to bring up. So I'm excited to talk about all this, and I definitely go off on tangents. So I'll try to stay on track as much as possible.
It's pretty amazing that you make one call at anybody at this table, and like within a minute somebody's picking up the phone.
Yeah.
And like you can't even get your own friends like sometimes to pick up your phone like in that aspect. Like when you need something at that moment, and David's 17 hours away, but he'll pick up that phone on that morning. At any hour of the day, there is somebody that can pick up the phone, from Canada to Florida to Hawaii.
Yep.
It's crazy. Japan, like
it's nuts.
It's pretty wild that I could say, and like even my people outside the circle don't even understand that you can do that.
100%.
Like that we can do that. Like it's just they don't grasp the concepts, of what the industry is about. So it's pretty wild, and it's really hard to explain that.
We ship cars across country too. So we do cars and send them off to different areas. And I can't tell you how many times someone's like, hey, my bumper's messed up. Like, how do I get my car fixed? I'm in Florida. I'm like, here you go. I'm in New York. Here you go. I'm in California. Here you go. It's like everybody has the ability to just have that immediate connection and take care of space across the country. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I experienced that in the gumball this year. Like I was literally like, we were in the gumball and like a bunch of cars just got added. And it was like, we were in Indy, then we were in Atlanta, and it was like, man, these cars got to get decaled up. Like, they're in the rally. It's like, one of the biggest rallies in the world. And it's like, I'm just calling guys that are like in the Wrap Society, and it's like I can't remember the guy's name, but this guy in Atlanta just came through, showed up on site, decaled all the cars, like, and it's just like, man, like literally off of a Facebook Messenger message, within 10 minutes, this guy was like mobilizing his whole company. Like, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and they're super proud to help.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Where are you from again?
Me? Toronto. Oh, sorry. I'm Tiago. I own a wrap company called Second Skin, which I don't know if I can really say that. It's pretty much owned by Madison now, my better half. We've got about 4 people. In our prime, I think we had about 9. This was pre-COVID. But I've pivoted into technology. I own a wrap tech company called XIX3D. My main mission is to bring technology not only to the wrap industry, but to the automotive industry and, mostly the service components of it. We have about 19 people in our tech company. We've got some big manufacturer deals. I can't really talk too much about some other ones that we're working on right now. Some of you in the room already know about that. I'm working on a big deal that kind of brings opportunity on a consistent basis to wrap shops in America and eventually globally as well. And we're working with some big global OEM partners, and it's a long process. It's not like anything I've ever done before. But at the same time, segueing from the wrap industry to the technology industry, there's a lot that's the same. And anybody in this room that might be thinking about, a different industry they're interested in, either as a side hustle or whatever, there's a lot of the same principles you learn. Like, you are a genius at your business, everyone in this room. And that can be applied to anything, right? It's really like that determination, that dedication, that resilience that, you can bring into anything else. So anyways, that's my, I have some interesting kind of synergies that I found and really cool experiences from 2 completely different industries, one feeding another. But hopefully I can share some.
Oh, too. Absolutely.
And who are you again?
He started.
Right
back.
Yeah, my name's Sharif. We all know each other here, but my name's Sharif Khan. I own SS Customs out of Redwood City. SS Customs originally was Sam's Signs Customs. Most people don't know that, but that Sam Signs, Sam is my father, started that company in 1984. And it's still around. They're still doing signs. And growing up in the sign industry, I saw from hand painting to, cutting foam letters with like a little wire that heated up, and you had all that, to everything that came in after that when the signage industry, to all the way to print graphics. And in 2005, I was like, I really wanted to take whatever I was doing in the print industry and go that way into wrapping cars. So SS Customs has grown from 2005, which was just only custom automotive, to where it's at today. We have about, I started in 2005 with my better half, Mickey. She's in the Wrap Party here somewhere. And now we have about 22 people, amazing people like Niel, Rob, and the rest of the crew that we have at the shop. And we're about 85% custom, I would say, and PPF, and then about 15% commercial. And yeah, man, it's been a pretty fun ride. And I think SEMA, for me, the SEMA story started in about 2006 when we brought our first wrap car out here. It was almost full wrap, and we had it at the STS Turbo booth, I remember. But it's been a long, fun journey since then. And I've met some amazing, cool people like you guys selves, and everybody's doing some pretty badass stuff. So we'll go back around again with Sergey, and we'll talk about basically where it is that you apply yourself in the industry, and what. Now that you were at SEMA, we're seeing everything that's going on here in the industry. We're at the show. PPF's going good. A lot of it's color change. There is like print booths here with Fellers and everybody else talking about probably commercial side as well, and printable wraps. For yourself, a couple questions would be like, where do you find yourself positioning yourself in your industry, and what do you see as things that are coming across, the future where you can see the industry growing into for yourself? And then finally, what is probably some of the biggest, your X factor, your game changer, things that make you a little bit different than everybody else? And and then we'll finish off another question towards the end.
So-
Granted, we got a little over an hour, so we're good.
You won't need me to tell.
Take your time.
I mainly do I only do PPF now. We still do color change, but my brother Mike, he works with me, and then he does all the color change now. And then and I only do I only do PPF, and then and honestly, I don't really like to run the business that much. Right after SEMA, this new guy is supposed to start to be my sixth, person in the shop. He'll be like in the office manager or whatever, guy. And I only want to install PPF. I really like installing. I really like to put my headphones in and just just install it. For myself, I only see myself as installer. I never really look into this business owner or not. I really want to be the guy that people will. They already do, but like some people will ship cars to me to do PPF, like very expensive, obviously, like extremely expensive. Like just ship cars to me, and then I'll do PPF job, and then we don't do commercial at all, so I don't know single thing about it, and then we mostly focus on the like high end cars. We don't work even on cars that's like older than like 5 years or not. Just think basic high stuff. Most PPF. It's about 75% PPF, and the rest is vinyl wrap and tint. We do ceramic coating, but only on top of the film. We don't do like on paint. We don't really offer polish on that.
As a PPF artist, what do you think made you stand out so much so?
So wrapping corners and edges completely. Like most of my installs are completely, invisible. Not to brag, but they are. Like you can't tell. They
Those photos look good, man. They look good.
You can't see any. These are very good.
Like, what am I looking at?
So
you could be bullshitting,
the car before you put film on. And,
that's the hack.
So do you send your customers the first day picture on the last day?
Because it looks the same anyway.
Check out the progress.
Check out the corners.
I love when the PPF guys ask me progress.
How's it going? I send them pictures
Just take a photo of the car.
I send them people washing their cars.
Not kidding, they're asking me for the progress. I'm like,
looks the same. Here you go. Can you see it?
Here's a guy with some soap washing your car.
Here we go. How about you?
looks almost done.
Yeah, so we transitioned into out of color just because of, it's just, I don't know, it takes so much fucking time. So we found with our flow and our system and the demand in our area and all that kind of stuff that PPF's the way to go. So we've got a pretty solid system. Like my crew, I can't do it without my crew. And my wife helps too, she kills it. We got full body Teslas down to about 6 hours. Wow. And like we'll just kind of collectively murder them. So car comes in, Brandon starts washing, me and my wife start cutting patterns, and as soon as one car is ready, we just all jump on it. And everybody can work together without even talking. It's like you just have that. What's it called? That you got ESPN. You know what the other guy's thinking already, right? You can read each other's minds. So it just like we'll crush it. And then like earlier this month, we had a couple of employees that left, and just the four of us, we were able to do 9 full bodies and 3 full fronts in 2 weeks. And this is like, we fucking crushed it. You know, that's the power.
That's work. Bro.
Yeah,
that's
amazing. And it's not shitty jobs. These are all fucking good jobs. It came out super good, you know. But what helps us stand out too is similar to Sergey. I'm always zooming in on his pictures. I'm like, I fucking see a little bit of film under that edge. So we try to make it look as invisible as possible, but also try to balance that with a realistic time management. You know, so some shit's gonna be kits, or some gonna have like kits with a little more extensions than others. I'm not trying to make every panel invisible because it's not realistic. But we take our time to do it right and make sure that, you know, we flex on the customer. Like, we're really happy that we'll tell the customer, like, we're super stoked on how this turned out. We'll show them why we're stoked that it turned out good, you know. Like, you know, we'll point out, like, other shops will have edges here, that's gonna collect dirt, it's gonna look ugly. You don't got edges there, you know, stuff like that. So we just try and push the quality thing, and also try to manage our time as well. I think as color change, like, we used to do a lot of color change. I think we kind of helped put Hawaii on the map, not to, like, toot my own horn either, but it's because of being inspired by all you guys. Wrap Society was absolutely huge. Like, I started to see how guys were doing just ridiculously good work, and it really, like, planted the seed and the bug in my head, like, I have to be at least that good, you know. And we just kept pushing it, and we started to create a market. We kind of created the market. And now we're kind of leaving the color change market out to pasture and doing the same with the PPF stuff. So, I don't know. See what the future holds, but it's going to be a lot of clear film.
See that?
See right through it.
Yeah, I can see you going back to doing some color change. Because with some of your skills that you acquired, you know, getting that team together and how you ran that, I think you could easily do a color change in probably a similar amount of time, you know, and banging those things out just like that. With the way you're doing clear, you can totally do that. It's the same thing, you know. I know your market is that the problem is the more of the market, but as far as timing, I think you can definitely do it, you know, if you wanted to expand. I think you already know it. You totally can do it out there, you know. But you could be more selective, which is what's great.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I think that's smart.
Well, the way I see this, like, I have many clients that would do, like, you know, 2-3 cars in PPF, and then they would like to wrap this one car in vinyl, you know. So it's like, or like vice versa. So if I would say no to vinyl job, I would have missed the client. They would do, so it's like, I always take it in, just have a separate guy who does it, you know, and it's just like, I have a client that I did his vinyl wrap job on Tesla once, and then after that was all PPF full cars since then. So if I would say no to the one client, I might have probably missed a bunch of PPF jobs after that, you know. So I don't know. I still think it's very related, both services. Like, you cannot offer one. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. They're just like,
I think they're related for sure, but I think the market dictates that.
But isn't the market also changing up in the sense of materials wise?
Oh,
now
sure,
we have our
sure.
colored PPFs.
Yeah, but colored PPFs are brand new to the market.
100%.
That's gonna be I don't necessarily think it's gonna be a fight to get them in to where they're going to be, because that is the future. There's no doubt about it. Why would you spend, you know, in our market, $6,000 for a color change wrap when you could spend $8,500 and it's all PPF? You know what I mean? So
the only difference is, like, we did a color change PPF. We used GSWF. Buying material for the car we had, we couldn't buy more than a roll, like a full roll and like a piece. It was a Tesla Model X. We had like 2 rolls. It was like $1,800.
Yeah, there's a little downfall. There's a little downfall in what these companies are doing.
We were like $3,600 in material for the car, and now we have, you know, a half or almost 3/4 roll sitting on the
60 feet
shelf.
sitting there.
Yeah. That was
Once they start competing, they're gonna have to change that.
100%.
Yeah, but
They
that's
didn't used to sell vinyl by the yard either.
Yeah.
They
You're
didn't.
just gonna give it time.
Once the volume gets there, they'll be able to
It
do that.
evolved.
I hope so. I mean,
we have-
we'll have to demand it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to demand it.
Or you have to.
75-foot rolls too.
Yeah.
Stop this crap.
All right.
We do
How
have
you
to
doing?
allow for the time.
Good?
Yeah.
Feel better? A little bit more weight?
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I'm kind of going down the path of Shayna's with paint protections kind of taking over our business. But I reckon that happened with the shortage of color change film for us because we're like at the arsehole of the world. It's just so hard to get shit to us.
But
Shit
you're
looks crazy.
beautiful ass.
Yeah,
it is. It's really pretty. It's nice shiny spokes.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got shiny spokes. But shipping kills us. Like, they keep, you know, price increases on shipping, price increases on material. Like, I keep hitting you guys up, like, you guys getting this? And you're not really, but like, we are. So and then they started not shipping certain colors to us, so we just kind of picked up paint protection and haven't looked back. And it's nice because I can come here every year, and I say this all the time. It's like a fucking crystal ball, like seeing what you guys do. Because it takes like 2 years for us to start doing what you guys are doing here, which is really nice because like I know what's cool and what's not. What doesn't look good in real life, and then I think coming here and meeting all the people really helped the shop. Like I've had Matt at the shop, I've had you at the shop, I've had you at the shop, I've gone to your shop, you've been at my shop. Yeah.
Who are all these yous?
A lot of yous. Yeah.
You should probably say those names.
It's crazy. Like, yeah. And
It's pretty cool. It's actually really humbling to have that in the industry where
yeah.
everybody all over the world come
Yeah.
and visit you
It's
in
a
your
really
shop.
nice shop.
Yeah. Especially it's like Tatsuya, like I needed help with paint protection. He flew out and just helped me with paint protection. It's you can't really get that unless you come all this way and meet these people. Imagine if I was just like a random person and be like, hey, come to my shop. Like, you're in New Zealand.
Oh, your shop looks cool.
I think
just
twice
got
about
to my
that.
shop and got stuck. Like COVID just like he was meant to come down to the shop and then COVID popped off and he would have been stuck there for 2 years and I reckon he would have taken over my shop.
You guys took it over. It was actually a really awesome opportunity to see you there at your shop.
Yeah.
When you first came, we first met, and I'm like, oh, this dude's got the wrap shop. That's the name of this
Yeah.
place, right? He had the boxes on the floor.
The most
Yep.
famous
Full
So
white.
nice.
It was just
Pictures,
all
like,
super clean.
The wrap shop just in the
Yeah.
background.
Always looks like you can get
Yeah,
off the
but
floor.
did you see the coffee though?
The red
Oh, I saw the.
Oh my god! And wait, I know you tasted it. I'm sorry. I forgot.
That's my
Your
OG
coffee
favorite
machines.
shop.
It's
Yeah.
like I asked him the other day. I was like, "You just put a new one?"
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, we just made the shop like a real nice place to be. I mean you spend most of your life there, right? You might as well make it enjoyable for you and your staff. So
We went there and we sat at his shop for the day, and it was like 4 p.m. and they're like, we're gonna go home today. I'm like 4 p.m. What the? And we went across the street and then they all jumped in the ocean after that and just had frisbees back and forth.
dude, the life.
It was amazing. I'm
It
like,
is the
how
coolest
do I possibly accomplish this?
His walk home could literally be along the beach the entire way. It's like, wait, hold on. So you could walk your dog on the beach to go home, and that's how you could clear your head. That's like this is something that like when you talk about like how you have to have that time for yourself or your time to just decompress. That's the moments that you can do that. But a lot of people just don't actually look at what they have in their area.
yeah, I come out here and it's stressful. Like
Oh yeah, I know.
you guys got like 6 lanes on the motorway, like around a corner, and it's just what one are you meant to be in? And you're on the wrong side of the road, and you're on the wrong side of the steering wheel. Like it's
No, we're
like we're on the
right
it's not
side, you're on the
corners.
wrong side of the road.
I've been driving wrong.
Oh my god.
Like the measurements are wrong. Like
This is something I agree. This is something
Yeah.
it drives me nuts.
America.
It drives
Yeah.
me insane.
Yeah.
Temperature makes 0 sense,
yeah.
and then measurements make 0 sense at all
Why?
because
You're like
because
1/4 of an inch or something like
the
this. It's
Celsius-
millimeters.
It's okay.
Man,
One
yo, don't even get me started.
It's just millimeters.
No,
It's
it's so
bad.
2mm 4.
why do you have 3 feet in the yard, but then hold on, there's how many yards in a mile?
So broken.
How many yards in a mile? I don't know.
No one knows.
Why do you need to know?
And then do you know how many
Google
centimeters?
No, but why wouldn't you just
like
use
centimeters in
millimeters?
it's all hundreds.
It's so easy.
And then temperature.
It's a dirty spiral.
Being Celsius, it boils at 100 and freezes at 0. Like there you go.
This is
All right,
so
so how about this?
conversation.
So post heat temps.
I'm pretty sure it started as just a big FU to everybody in the rest of the world.
No,
It
honestly,
started in
I
America.
believe that. I believe that because it makes there's no logical
That's
sense.
absolutely had to be the logic.
like pounds. Don't even.
Be like, they're on the right, we're gonna go to the left. That's it.
We're American.
Yeah.
Right? And that's that.
If the toilet water goes this way, we're going that way. And that's really it.
All right. Well, speaking of measurements and all that
All
stuff,
flushing the other way.
Tate, you're over there with the 32s and everything, right?
Inches.
Minimum.
Minimum.
No, it's my market. You know, it's South Florida. It's flashy. People want that look. You know, so I'm going to give you that look. So whatever you want, I'll do it for you. You know? I think I strive where I got a name for myself in the chrome. You know, just jumping with that, just taking a leap and just fuck it, let me try this. Make my own colors back in the day that these manufacturers weren't making, and now they're making.
And how did you do that?
Shit, can't tell.
And we all asked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all the people in his comments.
Yep.
We worked. Everybody, every one of us.
Hey,
What
Tate,
did you do? What is this? And
Crickets.
no, he shared.
Oh, I don't know. He shared.
we
He
had
shared.
the same
He
customer.
eventually-
Literally.
He started sharing.
Well, how do you
Yeah,
think?
he shared with me. I'm proud of that.
He
one.
started sharing.
I cracked the Tate bolt.
I was gonna say. I feel like.
Yeah, he's like, different country, all right.
But we got the same
I'm like,
customer.
Tate, come on, bro. I need to know how to make this
Yes,
paint.
happy you did.
Yeah, that's
That
That was the first
Oh my
one.
God.
Yeah,
That was the
and
first
Happy
one.
speaking of, wait, hold on. Speaking of happy
GTR, right?
GTR.
Green?
Yeah, but
The blue and green one.
Blue and green GTR.
speaking of that customer,
Oh,
just
yeah.
to throw this out there, you worked on his car, and so did this gentleman sitting next to me. And
It's a
I
small
got to
world,
even
bro.
work on one of his cars as well in your shop. That's
Little
like,
one.
that's crazy. Well, actually, yeah.
You worked on the car the size of the table.
Well, yes, but yes, I worked on a mini Lamborghini, but then the other, you made me come through PPF on a freaking Bugatti. That was
Oh, yeah,
fun.
that's just another.
Yeah, no big deal. Oh, hey.
That's my first one, so I had to call you in.
Yeah, that was
It
cool.
was our first one.
Yeah.
Again,
Shit,
another
why
story.
couldn't you
Calling
call
somebody,
Sergey?
hey, come over here, help me out,
He
right?
come down to Florida for a couple of days.
I know. That's awesome.
We'll stay on the beach and have fun.
Alright.
Oh wait, we got this.
Oh, we had fun, alright.
Yeah.
Drift carts.
Yeah.
I took him into a
Oh
warehouse
my
district.
God.
I had the electric drift cart. You know, the big wheel in the front. The drift
You fitted an electric drift car?
So, yes, but the best was we thought we were going to go out,
Asterisks.
and instead we went and drifted in a parking lot, and then an hour later it started pouring, and we were on the other side of the parking lot when it started. And
So
if
right
anybody
back
knows
in
how
the rain.
Florida rain is, yeah, that was super sketch.
Aren't those things like basically on slicks?
Oh my God, so
Yeah,
much.
PVC pipes, aren't they?
Yeah, you got to pay
Slide
attention
around.
extra though, because if you hit any of those curves, because it slides, and not just like 10 feet, it's like 100 feet. Because you're going 40, and when you make that, it's sketchy. But we had a blast.
Not speaking meters, right? Like meters.
No, no
Not
meters.
speaking of fish meters.
It was like a half a football field, 50 yards.
Do you think you're gonna keep running with doing your industry? Like, have you stayed in your lane? Has it always been the same amount of custom cars, or is it like PPS? Is it commercial?
I put I don't want to say sticker, but a sticker on anything. You know, y'all seen it. You know, I wrap trophies for the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, like,
That was
That was
crazy.
cool.
I think that's probably my number one
That was huge.
project.
That was so cool.
And then of course this project with this gentleman here, you know, wrapping ceilings in chrome.
Yeah, that was also really cool.
That was so nuts.
Your latest post has been making me hungry.
Is that a world record?
Oh,
Like the
Egg roll
biggest
guy?
cold
Egg roll guy.
sculpture
Full
ceiling.
level.
Self-proclaimed.
It
Like
was,
the longest
it was
or
70,
something.
it was 75 foot by
That was the
30.
first panel we dropped, was 75 feet.
Yeah.
First panel was a full roll.
Oh, this long roll.
A full roll of chrome.
Well, let's see if this works.
But it was a great
Well,
experience.
knife was filled. That was fun.
Yeah.
So,
And I was like, guys, are you sure? Like, are you sure we're gonna do this? Like, I'm sitting there with 10 rolls of chrome. Going, oh,
How confident were you in that pitch meeting when they proved you?
Here's the pitch meeting. We walked into the space, and I was like, "See, I told you." And they're like,
This is
they're like, nah, it's not even that gonna be that bad. It's not gonna be that bad. I'm looking at them like, all right, well, I guess we'll just let's run a 50-footer. Screw it.
Is that still under?
Yeah, it's still there.
you told us to
That's
slow
so
down.
cool.
I don't think it's coming down, bro.
It's expensive.
Like we gotta do this in 3 days.
Building comes down.
We could have got. I think we realistically could have got. It was 75 foot by 35 foot, and it was a ceiling sculpture that the relief from like the top to the bottom was up to 24
It looked
inches.
like the Terminator guy.
Yeah, it looked like it. What
The
it
melting Terminator guy on a
molten,
ceiling.
like molten. Yeah.
Like liquid, yeah, like liquid metal all over.
Yeah, the molten metal guy, like when
Yeah.
he melts on the ceiling.
We like came to the conclusion that we're like, all right, we'll just take these huge. We'll go as big as we can with these pieces. They can be obscure shapes and everything. We'll butt seam everything and overlay it with a pin strip. Because I had talked to the client, I had showed them. It was an impossible project.
We got it done.
No, I know, but like to
anybody
take
else.
their to take their expectation and make it realistic to like rapper world. Like
That's always
it was an
the challenge.
impossible
Setting
project. So it
expectations.
was like, okay, well this is what we're gonna do and this is how we're gonna do it. I showed them 3 different options for the seams, overlaps, butt seam with a pinstripe, and the butt seam with a pinstripe.
No
Well, I mean, you gotta think chrome really seams well.
Mhm.
If you're 24,
Oh, yeah,
36
that's-
inches away, you can't see a seam. Well, I mean, you're on a 10-foot ceiling, so you're 8
Who's
foot at the
looking
lowest
up?
point.
Who's looking like
Matt can see it.
Well,
Just
yeah.
walk in there.
He'll hit his head on it.
What's going on up there? What's going on with you over there?
I think we're changing because we had the schools when teaching with wrapping and signage like 3 years ago. So now after 3 years we see a lot of young guys start doing wrapping from home in the garage. They do everything for cheap, like $1,200 for sometimes a wrap or PPF full front. So it's really difficult to sell a wrap in these days because Holland is small, 4-hour drive, and everybody knows each other, you know. So a lot of people are killing the market, I found out. And I think a few years ago I started collecting the signs for my shop. It's completely full. And a little bit full. Yeah.
You need another shop.
Yeah, I need another shop. It's
Just for
ridiculous. Half the shop is full with signs and crates because I found in New York a billionaire and one guy in Hollywood, and I ship every month, I think 2 to 3 crates full of signs. So I'm still doing wrapping, but the signage is way much better at the moment.
Wow, that's awesome. Found like a little niche market there.
Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah.
And in a passion.
Yeah, so I just buy collections now and I sell them to most times to the US. And we still do wrapping because it's first started as a hobby, then it was work, and now it's getting a hobby again for the last year. So it's
These are all collectable like signs.
Yeah,
that people
yeah.
see.
Porcelain signs,
Yeah.
rare.
Be like old
signs.
school.
They're extremely expensive, some of them. Extremely expensive. Very niche market. Very niche.
I
He
sold
has them already. Seen his new warehouse?
for the last 10 months I sold for almost 250,000 on signs.
Wow.
That's
So
awesome.
I think why am I still wrapping? You know? But it's getting a
You like
hobby
it.
again. So
How does
it's-
that Wolf of Wall Street
I'm about to
scene
say-
go? Show me a check stub, I'll work for
Yeah.
you. Right now. I call my boss.
I was gonna say we can find signs
Hello?
in New York.
find everything, man.
I quit.
I'm buying these collections. So, but you know, it's because I'm making so much money with the signs. I'm starting.
Hobby now.
It's a hobby, you know. And the wrapping it's still a business, and we do like compared to you guys, we do 1 car a week. You know, just relax. I'm enjoying, you know, and going to the show, do some lifeless design, some easy stuff.
Seriously, man.
I'm excited to see that tomorrow.
I don't know how you come up with this stuff.
Have you ever seen him look at a car though?
Yeah.
When he's like building it in his head and he's like,
He came to my shop 8 years ago when I met you. We sat at a car, he looks at it, he sits down, he looks at the car. Bitch, I'm ready to go. Like, what are we doing? He's like, no, I gotta look at the car.
I have to see it.
Yeah. And then he lays a pattern like you never ever thought about. Like,
No, but it's-
running
it's-
lines,
it's-
like no body lines.
it's
I would have ran a
1,000
straight line
lines.
right there. And I was like,
Squiggles.
and then he does it on the other side, identical. Fuck
Yeah.
you do that?
That
really
is
no idea.
symmetry.
I can't even do
no
it right
idea.
on the first
No,
side.
it's not
Oh.
ready. It's not
I
ready.
see
Well, it's
the lines
right
and
there.
everything, it just comes to life, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's actually one of the most creative things I think most of us get to witness when you work.
Oh yeah.
It's really, really cool.
But he
man.
set the bar so high.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah, it's
you
like,
set
you
that
can't-
bar
you can't-
early.
The thing is, it's so layered too. There's 8, there's 6 layers. There's 3 layers.
Now there's a Sharpie involved.
We walked by.
Where did you pull that out of?
Come at me,
We
bro.
walked out of Wright today. It was a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Oh, that's the knifeless boot. Never mind. We're good. It's off his mind, going crazy. It took him.
Wow.
It's like, oh, that's.
No, but
it's
he
just
created a trend that everyone tries to copy now.
Yeah, and not only that, you got to do something that nobody's ever done. You were in the Dubai Mall
Yeah,
wrapping cars.
gold floors. Yeah, it's
What
crazy.
was that like, dude?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I got to tell, I tell my students about that.
They paid for my whole shop thing. It was 150,000 euros.
Yeah.
And they paid for
That's
everything.
wild.
And that's
And I
what,
just did 5 trainings.
and that's something like
Wow.
we would
Yeah.
never even dream
Yeah.
of, let
Yeah, it
alone
was-
even be
it
able
was
to
unreal.
conceptualize.
They had the Bellagio also in Qatar, and the sheikh owned the Bellagio, and he was supporting the wrap shop, giving millions, you know. So there was so much money involved.
Yeah.
And they say, what do you want to do? I say, I want to put the car in the Bellagio. So they put it there and we made the designs. It was
That was
super
so cool.
unrealistic.
Surreal.
Yeah, it was real surreal, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty
to
awesome.
introduce that to people that just don't even know anything about it. I mean,
Well,
you created art, and it,
and
live
around the world.
art.
Around the world.
Yeah.
That's what the
Yeah.
key is, though. He's doing this in a whole other country from his own country. Left his country to go to another one to do this. That's insane.
Yeah.
When you tell people that they can get involved in an industry that can allow them to be able to travel to places that they've never been and be able to work, that's like,
I think that's when you know you've done something.
Oh my
where
God,
you created
cool.
art. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because you in yourself are the demand. It's not replicatable.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool, man.
It's difficult.
It is.
You don't make it look difficult.
No.
Yeah.
And you fly out back and forth. You go to Japan too, or does you mainly go to visit him?
If I hired you in the past like 6 years, 5 years ago,
I think so.
because I had so many PPF projects and there was nobody available, I just fly him in. That was a really good option. And now I still do some PPF, but you know it's just difficult, man. Our shop is not super clean. It's an old building because I like the old look, but it's not suitable for PPF.
Makes it difficult.
Really difficult. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
How's PPF in Japan?
Now I want to talk to just only the PPF, the color change, and including something. And my view in now, the money exchange fee and some of the money value is totally different. Yeah. So, and if you come to Japan, you can take about 3.5 or $4 the McDonald's combo, but my view it's almost double. So the Japanese market labor fee is now you pay for the if you're calling a good color change wrapper from Japan, maybe you can invite 300 US per day. But the material cost is outside is so high. I think the 50% higher.
Yeah.
So the some of the PPF color change vinyl is double price in Japan market. But labor fee is same. And I don't know how to change the near future, but some of the Japanese shops is continue to same price about this 4 years. So not take a good benefit now. So some of the good installer want to know how to work outside the country, but some people cannot speak Japanese, I cannot speak English or something. So now they want to learn, of course, the language and some of the good skills or something. But this year, maybe just few guys from Japan, I think, in SEMA show. Everybody want to know the color change, the color change PPF. Color change PPF have a dry installing and the wet installing. Maybe the next year. Now I do the PPF, another guy do the color change, but maybe mixing to totally the film market, vinyl market. But I think the Japan market cannot following everything. Maybe small island, language different. So I don't know what I say now, and I cannot fortune the future in Japan market and of course US market, Europe something. So I want to know many more information so I come here and want to share some information. I hope so.
What's that little car you have too?
My one?
Yeah.
Yeah, still keeping.
You still
But
have it?
my current price is still keeping. No exchange, no expense. Some of the market car, the Porsche or something, is so expensive. My domestic car is same price.
It's still a cool car though.
So small one.
Is it a 40-foot rolls over there? Or however many millimeters that is?
It's 100. Everything is 100.
I don't want to do a New York accent, so I'll let you go, bro.
I think it's pretty wild what we got going on now. I think this year is pretty cool that some of these companies are bringing a PPF aspect to it. And we sat at these tables and just talked about it and said, you know where it's going to go? It's going to be paint protection, vinyl, all mixed into one. And now it's already here in such a short amount of span. You know, a year ago, somebody like a company like Stack or something came out with a couple of colors. You know, black started, right, which was everything we dreamed of.
Technically, that was in Europe prior, though.
Okay, so I started. I've got
the facts on that.
I'm not saying I started it, but I'm saying I was mixing a lot of this stuff. I was always about trying to get it to look like paint, but also last like paint, and be that guy to show my customer, hey, I can make this better, I can make it last, I can make it look awesome. First I started with just taking your regular gloss black and then throwing PPF on top of it. And then throwing those videos out there, showing the depth. Now my car that I have right now, which my RS7, there was no teal and gloss that I wanted. And also I wanted it to last like paint protection. I wanted it to always stay clean. I didn't want to see swirls. I wanted to fool people when they sold the car. Until this, you know, every place I go, nobody knows that it's not paint. You know, by the quality of install, but also by just how it shines, the depth. They think it's a custom paint job, and it's not. I took a matte color, I needed it gloss, but I didn't want to laminate it because it still would have been
Orange peely.
it would have been swirly, you know, it would have been that. Obviously something like that's gonna cost somebody, but I can achieve it. The fact that you said I can achieve it, you know, what is it to a Lambo guy that just spent $500,000 on a car, that I can make his car look like a custom Lambo paint job that is gonna shine every time he goes out, you know? And to say that I can do that now, say that this industry can do that, and when Austin started Paint is Dead, was called Paint is Dead, we actually did kill it. The fact that nobody knows what it is now. I looked outside, and we've been doing this for so long, I see that Tesla, I didn't know that was not paint. You know, the new APA. I mean, so the fact that the industry is listening to us, which I feel like that was what we wanted, just listen to us. Like,
How many years?
How many years have we been chirping in their ears?
Took a long time.
Just screaming, you know? And that I think finally now they're listening.
They have to.
And they have to.
In order to
You know, and we pushed it. And every single one of these people pushed it and is an influencer. Tate is an influencer. Matt. Joffrey with the knifeless. Sergey just doing crazy close-up videos. You know, everyone's an influencer, and we push the market to accelerate in ways that we don't even know. I thought, you know, that's what amazes me right now. And the fact that we got there in such a short time span, you know, who knows what's next, you know? Like he said, we don't know the future. What is it gonna be? But I feel like we haven't even tapped the market. I mean, here's the money man. Hey, I think John's a money man, but like he understands like business. And I don't know the numbers. I don't even think we tapped 10% of the car market.
I think it's 1.7 or 1.8% at this point.
There you go.
It's supposed to double by 2020 or 2030. So
You know?
let's just say it's a $2 billion a year industry right now. It's supposed to be $4 billion. And
Manufacturers start to incorporate this stuff in.
Is it
their
2 billion?
process.
I've heard 8, but I don't know if the figures are
So
correct.
in America alone,
it's hard to see where it's compartmentalized. What is that 2 billion? Is that commercial? Is that color change? Is that PPF? Is that colored PPF? Is it tint? Is it restyling? Is it whole? It's hard to compartmentalize exactly what those numbers come from. I know that under 2% of the vehicles on the road have graphics on them.
I believe tint is 7%, which is extremely low. I would never thought it would be this low.
7% of vehicles have window tint on them?
Yeah, I believe so.
Imagine that.
That's insane.
If it wasn't for regulation, imagine how much.
No, but still, like I thought like every second car has tint on there, something like every third car, but like it's far
Especially out in Arizona, it's fucking hot. Like it's hot.
Well, that's bad.
How is it in Arizona for you?
It's good, man. It's been interesting. We moved actually, so we were in Ohio. Me and my business friend Brian in Ohio, and nothing is happening in Ohio. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he moved out to Arizona, and me and my at that point soon to be wife moved out a year later, and we just had this aspiration to build a business, and we started working on Hondas, Subarus, shit, whatever came in the door, we were working on, and we had the wants and the overall need to get into the luxury and exotic market. And Arizona had that. So slowly but surely we got a partial whatever in the hood wrap or whatever. And we got a full car wrap in. We got to market that and then double down, and we grew into a shop that primarily deals with luxury and exotic vehicles now. And when we made that choice that this is where we're going to head, and we have a grasp on it, we're going to full force, 100% go on this. It was still just me and him. So over the past several years, we were able to accommodate some growth and some employees and some space to do these things. And with that, now out of the 12 people in the shop, only 3 of those people are vinyl color change installers. And it's pretty wild to think that just a few years back, we were 100% color change company. We were EA Wraps, Echelon Autosports Wraps. Now we're just Echelon Autosports. We're doing everything. So the expansion over the past couple of years has been nuts. And I've got a full-time detailer that does polishing and ceramic coating. I've got a full-time disassembly guy. I've got a guy that does installs for suspension, exhaust, body parts. I've got a PBS. So once we started growing, I said, what else can we do with the space we have? I flew out to Hawaii, and Shane taught me how to install PBF. I've always been curious. We've always offered it, but as a third-party solution. Shane taught me how to do it. I brought it back to my team. I took my best vinyl wrap installer, showed him what Shane taught me, and then 2 weeks later, Shane flew out to my shop, and then he had Jeanette. Shout out to Jeanette. Where are you, Jeanette? And they worked with my guys, and we wrapped a Rolls Royce Ghost in like 3 days from lost to stealth, and it looked phenomenal. And
That's a hell of a first project.
Yeah,
you know what? It really is. we had a guy, like, I went to Hawaii. I learned how to do PPF in 4 days time. I brought it back with my 3% knowledge of what Shane gave me, and taught one of my guys, which went down to 1%. I was like, we're gonna do this. I don't give a fuck. So, a day later, a guy's like, yeah, I want to full body my brand new 2022 Ghost. We're like, yeah, we'll do that. Hey Shane, so we got a Rolls Royce.
Go next week.
Yeah, he's like, what are you trying to do? I'm like, when are you trying to go? So they came out, and so we put it together, and it worked, and it took over. We have a sizable chunk of my shop now dedicated to PPF, and it's funny because as I listen to you guys talk, it's transitioned into quite a bit of PPF. So it's kind of the future.
Do you think that we would have been as good if we weren't color change people?
I don't think so.
No,
But the reason why it was tough because
we would never push those limits because we were color change people. We were unsatisfied.
People who do only PPF,
we were not satisfied with the way
kids.
Clear was being pushed out there.
So I don't rap, right? I came in not being a rapper, and watched each of you, and have been able to see from the different way you do things, and then watch other people when they come in. And we always tell the secret is to be the best PPF installer. You have to master color change.
And that's the thing. And I took my best color change guy. He could produce the most out of anybody in the shop, and he was giving tips and tricks to the guys below him. I made the decision to say, hey, you produce the most out of the core of my company. I'm going to pluck you out of that. I'm going to place you into something completely different that we don't even do. And then we're going to rely on the other guys to pick up the slack. And we had confidence in that because I realized in doing PPF that reading the panel and knowing where the material wants to go is the most important part. And this guy knew and knew how to look and read this stuff without even thinking about it. It was second nature, and he just moved right into it. Of course, techniques and things like he's not Sergey by any means.
No, but it's the
But
language.
it's the
It's
language
that
of the
language.
material. Yeah.
Yeah, it does have
So-
its language.
Yeah, every
And
time.
that, it caused me to become like, I went from being an employee of my own business to managing my company, and then I got checked real fast to become, I'm an employee of my business again. I'm back in the shop grinding every day of the week to make sure that we succeed in this next venture of the company. So it's like, it's a cycle. And 11 years in, I was just as into the grind as every one of my guys, no matter if they were there a year or 3 years, whatever it happened to be. I wasn't equal to those guys. And it's cool to see that. It's cool to be a part of that. And then to see me getting dirty, rolling around on the ground, stressing the fuck out to try to make sure this is going to work. And that is, that's just the nature of the business. We're evolving as a community. We're evolving individually as companies. And it's cool to see the growth overall.
Good to hear it, man. Awesome to see it. St. Louis?
What's the question? I forgot. It's like telephone. It's like everybody changes.
I'm
their
so
mind.
happy
And now I
you
don't
asked the
remember.
question.
I know, right? Now, basically, where do you forecast yourself and what you're doing in the industry? What things are you working on, and what differentiates you from everyone else?
It's a lot. I mean, so I have Wrap IQ and I have vinyl images. When it comes to vinyl images, 100% fleet, print and ship graphics. That's the future, without a doubt. Really getting into that, design, produce, print large fleets of graphics. That is, without a doubt, that's the future. For us, we have found that we're never going to stop doing the local stuff, but we're going to stop doing a lot of the retail stuff. So if you want to do a color change, it's probably going to be $8,000 to $10,000, whether you want to pay it or not. If you don't want to pay it, that's fine. I'm out, because I can, in the time that it takes to do a color change. I just had a new navigator in last week. I think we had like 64 hours in it total, from breakdown, detail, cleaning, reassembly, wrapping, chrome delete. It was immense. It was an immense project. With 60 hours, let's just call it 5 commercial wraps at $3,500 a piece. If you look at the profit, look at the stress that goes into a color change versus the stress that goes into a commercial wrap, the quality of installer versus the quality of installer for a commercial wrap. The writing's on the wall for us. It's been on the wall for a long time. So we're gonna be making a pretty big transition when it comes to that side.
Yeah, I really don't think color change is like more of a passion. I really don't think you can monetize it to that extent.
You can.
Unless
you can.
You know what's interesting?
You show them that.
It's interesting. Like there's not many shops in the country that would solely do color change, and I'm not telling you like a lie. We turned down, I don't know how many thousands of dollars of commercial because we weren't in a position to design and spend the time to do this.
Yeah.
And it
I agree,
wasn't.
I do the same
You know
thing.
what I'm saying? Like
I
it
turned
wasn't
it down.
It wasn't by act of like neglect or just ignoring the fact that there's a lot of money in it. We were able to capitalize because like when me and Brian, like you were talking about, you can work with somebody that doesn't have to talk to you and you know exactly what you need to do. Me and Brian can knock out 3 color change wraps in 5 days.
Without even
And
talking.
I think it's a few things.
It's one of those things where, and then my guys, like I have 4 color change bays, 1 person per bay. Those individuals can wrap out a full color change wrap in a week, plus the chrome deletes, the roof wraps, the miscellaneous stuff. So it's a very profitable endeavor for me to have that, and I don't have to worry about a printer or designer or any of that stuff, and it works well for it's a market thing for sure.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
it's
100%.
a
Yeah.
market.
Our market's been driven into the dirt by people that come in with very low prices and decent quality. They're not bad wrappers.
Yeah.
But they come in and what I'm charging $6,000 for, they're charging $3,000.
Yeah, but one thing they haven't mastered is what you mastered. You mastered how to make it perfect every time. Where those people the people that kill our industry, and we can't blame them, but they could never be consistent. They're never going to be consistent. And usually they fade. Yes, they're always going to be there.
They're just long enough to muddy the waters, I think.
Yes, absolutely,
Just
and that's
long
what
enough to
it's
mess
definitely keeping it down.
Yeah.
But you're just like you're at a different level.
you're at a different level. You're at a different level. Like, he can never go back down, right? To that level.
I think, but
You know, it's one thing like you take on those jobs, but you can never.
I'm never going to stop doing
Yeah.
color change because there are clients that I've worked with for so many years that they're going to buy a new M5. They're going to buy a new EV. They're going to buy something new. And of course, I'm going to grandfather them in. You know, I could never turn my back on those clients because they helped me get through so many hard times, and they paid my payroll forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's nothing I'm never going to get out of color change. But commercial for us, how we have our shop set up, where it's a production house at this point. I mean, I walk into the shop, I smell the HPs running, and it smells like money to me. People walk in and they're saying, "What does that smell?" It's like money. It's like money.
You know, I find that so funny. It's like, does anyone in this room do color change to like profit? Like, that's the most profitable part of your business.
You can make
No, but how many?
It's a small.
I think
small.
okay, I think to rephrase that question, I think everyone in this room has. But right now, how many people are?
Well, I try to make sure everything that comes in, we're at least doubling what our investment is.
No, but you've got a training business. That's now becoming a
our
new
wrap,
source of
even in
revenue.
phenomenal vinyl, like we do a lot of color change. Like what I've learned with color change is keep it simple.
Mhm.
Like I came in. Are you anything else you want to say?
I got lots to say.
Hold on. But I'll just talk on this for a second.
I was going to spin it back to you.
When I came in quickly, I came in to like recharge Matthew almost, and he kind of mastered color change or hit certain highs in the industry. And I was looking at his model and like, where do we make the money? And I learned from watching you guys, like some of you guys specialize in exotics, some of you do everything yourself, some of you don't take apart anything. And I was like, what can we focus on? And we're like, we gotta focus on this new car, this Tesla, this model. There's nothing to take apart. We can bang them out quickly. The highest risk was when we were dealing with the mirrors and the chrome delete. But that model, when you focus on it, you can make good money. And you guys will rip on us because we charge more than most. But we are charging like $6,000 for a Model Y and a color change. And it's $700 in materials. A lot of money to make that car and make profit and turn that car around in 3 days. There's nothing to remove. Even if it's white, the most you're doing is dropping a bumper. So yes, I think if you find color change and find out, like I've been to all of your shops, I've watched him and Brian work. They can wrap a car without even talking to each other. It's like unbelievable. So if you can find efficiency, like, and then create value from the customer, like where the customer sees the value, so they're not going to that guy with the lower prices.
I see it as if it's a compartment of the company, like you said, I'll never stop doing color change, but you're not switching to it. That's the thing.
No, I'll
You're
never.
not
I'll
switching.
never
You're either
switch back.
expanding
No.
or that's it. So he had to make a choice. Once he started realizing what paint protection was about, he had to make a choice. I have to now switch. I cannot focus on color change. Unless you're expanding the business, which is what we're talking about, it's like, I have to now make the choice too. I either have to expand to or get rid of color change. So when you're a smaller print, you either gotta make a choice. Once he realizes how many signs he can make and sell, he's like, I'm not spending 60 hours on it. It's very simple. And Tate has done the same thing. I think, right? You've gotten some contracts. I'm saying you've gotten some contracts where you go, whole 3 months of color change is gone.
Yeah, I mean,
I was doing an architectural condo.
I just remember you
I wasn't
holding for a little bit, going, look what's in front of me
My
right
customers
now.
were pissed.
So
I was like, I can either you guys wait, or I can have my contractor handle the car, or you just wait for me. And they waited.
Yeah. So I think
You have to adapt, though. You have to adapt. When we first started, we were doing tint and PPF. We didn't know we were doing. This is 20 years ago. Tint, PPF signs, business cards, brochures, fucking window graphics, wraps, commercial wraps, color change wraps when they came about. Every single thing that you could possibly chase every dollar on, we were doing that. We didn't know if we were making money. We didn't know if we were making profit until we figured out the business side of it. And now we know. I'm a production house. That's what I do. I print stickers, man.
And I don't know if anyone ever installed stuff that Jan prints, but it's perfect. It's great. I've done a few installs for Jan, and then it's always great.
Thank you.
Like-
We take great pride in that. We built the business. I'm an installer. Like,
Right.
I'm not. When I first started,
Yeah, you
like,
got
I was
that
an
down to a
installer. I'm
production.
not a business owner. You know what I mean? Now I am. Now I'm a business guy. But when I started, I'm an installer. So our entire business was based around making the installer jobs easy. So when we package stuff up, the process to package everything up is to make it easy on the installer. When they pull out the first panel, it is the actual first panel, and it is faced the right way with the perfect trim on it.
And the seams are the right way. Depends on the car. It go sideways or like horizontal. One, it's always it's great.
There's a lot of planning involved.
Yeah, a lot.
There's a difference. These guys are not just installers. You're artists. You're the artistic, like, of the installers.
I'm lazy.
No,
I'm
what
lazy.
I mean to say
I'm
is,
lazy, and I want I want it to be as
designed
easy as possible.
Yeah, and you've created that design. You've used your artistic ability to create that
All right,
efficiency.
professional.
And that's what's artistic about
You
it.
do this so long that you get to a point where you know you just lost $20.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
No, I just
listen,
lost-
we moved our shop around
I just did this
because
piece
of
and
seconds.
I just lost $100 because I knew I could have did this piece. You know, and we start to get to that point.
But that's
you start to
you-
look at
you
things
can't
that
look
way.
at the tree.
I would
you have to
say
look at the forest.
installing your projects, like you've said this work recently for Northern California. Destiny's crazy, by the way. She keeps her shit tight. But the overall aspects of how you guys package everything, send everything, it all has efficiency in mind for the installer's point of view, how to do this job correctly, all the schematics, everything printed out. Like, you've dumbed it down to the point where it's like, hey, you got to make this install as easy as possible for the installer's perspective, even with the little tools and everything rigged in there. So I get that. Also, we have less than 15 minutes left, so I want to.
Here's the thing: how do I set you up for success as an installer, as a contracted installer? How do I set you up for success? You give the contracted installer as many tools as you possibly can. Give them every tool that it takes to be successful. You give your clients, you set your clients' expectations to show them exactly what you're going to do with this color change job or this PPF job or wrapping trophies, right? You told the client you're going to have seams there, right?
Yeah.
They know that, so you give them all the tools and you educate them, set the expectations through education.
Yeah, and I mean, I think for us, like, as we're growing, like in Phenomenal and Wrap Envy, like, we're focused on that, setting expectations. Making sure that, like, when people come in, they know what they're getting. We're showing them. I mean,
Even on the students.
the students too. And I mean, the big thing is by giving it in their hands, putting it in their hands, let them see it, explain it to them, show them, educate them. And it was interesting because tonight I was asking a lot of people, like, we haven't seen a turnout like this in years. I was like, there's so many newbies. And it was great. We saw some of our students.
Yeah.
Like, they actually took our advice and we were like, go to see, but they actually signed up. They came to the party.
It was so cool.
And
A
they,
lot of new faces.
yeah, but it's good.
yeah,
But you know what?
so many.
They're new faces to you, but to these guys, they're following all you.
Yeah.
Your faces that they look at, like, wait, I know them,
Trust
I
me,
know
man.
of them. And
We talk about it in the
we talk
classes,
about-
about
That
all
is
of
so
you.
cool. Like, sit down and like think about how long I've known some of you guys in here and like see like this motherfucker. Like why do we even try with the knifeless scene? Like when he came onto the scene, he took over, right? And it was just like, oh, we gotta get Joffrey. We gotta get Joffrey. Well, then you try to like copy it or emulate it, not copy, but emulate it. Get a little of that flavor.
Oh yeah.
And then he comes. How long has it been since you worked at SEMA? How long has it been since I've seen you? 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
You're only getting better. You're only getting better, and it's frightening.
Much ideas.
It's just crazy. Whatever's in your head, man.
You're passionate about it. It speaks for itself.
But to like rub elbows with the people at this table and to like look across the room and like see these dudes and like everyone's like jonesing on it. It's like, yeah, that's my boy, dude. Like,
Yeah, that's
that's
pretty
my
damn
boy.
cool.
That's
Right
how we
there,
It's
that's
really
my
humbling.
boy. Like I texted him yesterday. That's my boy.
That's how we started. That's how we started the name. We started Wrap Envy because I came to SEMA. We had the whole crew here. We were riding the bus back to the airport, and I'm like, guys, how do you feel? And they had met a bunch of you guys, and they were like, I'm like envious. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, me too. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, we have Wrap Envy. And then we realized the Wrap Envy, the W and the E was the we.
Yeah.
So it's like you guys is a we, Wrap Envy. So that's how.
Look at
And
Yeah.
now-
So it does have
Oh my
That's right
God.
over there.
Marketing, branding. There you go.
Yeah.
101. I love it.
So now it's over to me, I guess. So I'll explain the fact that I think the biggest thing that's going to be changing in the industry is we're gonna see.
Oh, was that the question?
Oh, okay. I don't know. All right, wait, hold on.
No,
You
that
wanna
was
repeat
one
question?
of the questions.
Commercial,
Go
baby.
ahead, go ahead.
Commercial.
All right, so
I'm the only one.
you can't do this with my ADD, man. Come on.
We do it too.
Yeah.
It's your scale.
No.
But let me back up a little. Thanks. But when it comes to the industry as a whole, I think we need to see more people working together, especially on the training end. And we need to be able to talk just like we do at this table about all of the things that we have questions on. Like a new color comes out, and if you have some discoloration and you're like, well, why does this do this? You make a phone call to the guy in the group that plays with that material the most. You know, you guys all said it, you know, expel.
I want to ask you a question. Do you think that I don't see it with us as Expel, Avery Dennison, PBF?
No, we're not that.
But my point is I see it with the manufacturers. I see them being lockjaw. I see them like, oh, you can't say anything because they're going to pick it up and do this. Like, I think that it's a higher level sort of abrasiveness as opposed, because I like
Corporate insecurity.
yeah. No, I believe that. I believe that. I think that's where the problem lies.
Well, they've been at war for like 20
forever.
years.
And they're gonna. But the
They've
thing
been
is,
at
that war's not
war.
gonna stop.
Yeah, but they've been at war, but the problem is that when we install, we have these different techniques because these materials are different.
All have their own nuances.
And they all do not want the same thing.
No, they don't.
So when you literally talk about it and you say, oh, hey, I only installed this product and that's how I install it, and then I moved to this one. Oh, I tried it the same way, but did it work? Did you play around? The first time we got a Tesla Model Y in the shop, I did that bumper 3 times because I couldn't get it in one piece the first time.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I took small pieces and I tried it. But it didn't work the first time I did the bumper. I did those small pieces 4 times to make sure it worked. Then redid the bumper, didn't work, did it again, didn't work.
You already
I made
told
sure to
us
get
we
that
only
process.
have 1-point-something% of the market. And
It's like
these
1.8%.
big, now we're putting out, we're the influencers for these large companies, yet not that they're not sitting at the table with us or working all together to expand the market. Can you imagine they got together, as we did at this table, and say, we're not going for 1.8% of the market, we're going for 10% of the market.
Yeah.
So,
I just don't see it at our level. I see it more higher up. I see that we all want to help. People want to give. I found the more I give, the more I get back. Period.
100%.
Period.
I think
can you
And I
imagine
don't
they all
see
work
that.
together and got 10% of the
You know,
market?
so I think you guys are so far ahead of them. The problem is every time we talk to a manufacturer about something, they're corporate. Things don't move at the pace you guys.
Oh,
do.
they're
It's
slow.
so- It's so slow.
From the ground level up, it disappears.
It's crazy how long
Yeah.
things take.
Changes.
Which is
You
why
want to add
have
anything
one
else to
on.
that before I move on to him? Because I don't want to get kicked out of the building.
Like I was saying, it's just a matter of the training aspect of things. You're definitely going to see a lot of that coming from us in the next year, and I'm very excited to be able to just bounce ideas off of all of you at the table constantly over the next year. So expect some text messages and some random phone calls. It's going to
And
happen.
collaborations and hosting
Yes.
you guys.
Yes, that's
Absolutely.
key.
Come and teach
I
stuff.
see that
Come
from
and give your lessons at our platform, please. We'd love to do that.
You know, it's funny because I'm in a weird perspective where I'm kind of like not in a position to be running a wrap business right now. So I'm kind of left with some questions. I mean, I still have my wrap business. I'm still seeing like some of the same challenges that I face, but I'm seeing new ones. You know, Tatsuya, you mentioned a really interesting one where the actual demand for labor is staying relatively consistent, but the supply is increasing, right? The cost-wise. But the actual MSRP of what we're charging isn't increasing. I mean, you got John Duever, you're charging $10,000, $12,000, take it or leave it. But that comes all the way back down to my original question of how many people here are actually, because this is a wrap crew, right? Except for everybody here is kind of doing something else, right? And that's an interesting thing to look at, right? And that's the one thing that I'm focused on, right? Like I'm in these conversations. I'm now in like pure corporate talks. I'm telling you, it's all red tape and it's a pain in the ass. I'm 6 months into a long sales cycle with one of the largest OEMs in the world, and I'm working on bringing a job where everybody in this room can get color change jobs that actually like sustainably, consistently, pay the bills. And that's my mission. That's what my dream is like, you know, because when I was starting out, you know, I started like everyone in this room with a squeegee, $500, and you know, a lot of hours. Yeah, you know, like, and it's amazing, right? I built my empire. I did, you know, some crazy projects, like, you know, everyone in this room. But one of the things I hit, you know, and everyone's got their market issues, you know, and in Canada, you know, we have winter, right? So half of the year is gone, literally half of the year. Winter is, you know, and we have a joke.
You know about that, Trevor?
There's 2 seasons in Canada. We joke about this. There's winter and construction, because when there's not winter, then we got to do the construction. So you get all the traffic. But anyways, what I'm getting at is like I had to find a way. How am I going to sustainably, you know, keep the lights on consistently? And my answer, like a lot of you guys, was how do I find that like constant job? And sometimes it's those dealership contracts, right? That was my like epiphany moment. So that kind of stuck with me, resonated with me. And since then, I've been trying to like develop a system where I can infiltrate the OEM and create a system where now it's automating a job for any wrap shop consistently, because you know they're always getting new cars release at any point of the month, they're getting new shipments, there's always jobs coming from the OEM, and if we can bring the aftermarket to the OEM, then the OEM can provide jobs for the aftermarket. And again, it leaves me with this one question though that I'm struggling on, because I'm about to get myself into a very serious commitment that's like, you know, it's actually just America for right now, but we're going to do it globally eventually. But I am wondering, everyone in this room isn't currently wrapping as their like go-to breadwinner, right? Maybe except for Sharif. This guy is just gonna have like, if you've been in his shop, it's insane.
Madness.
But
I'll say EA too.
But at the end, yeah.
Color change primarily is what you do. You don't do commercial like myself, right?
No.
So.
But you're into other things like customizations. You have other forms. Even if you get ceramic coatings, you got a full-time guy. Like that's your biggest margin right there, right? Like at the end of the day, your wrap margin is what, 20%? Like, I mean, depends. Like depending on how much your overhead is and what you pay your guys. But
yeah, it's a little higher, but it's not like the other aspects of the business. For sure.
And it's not what it used to be, right?
Correct.
And that's really what it comes down to, right? Where it's like, okay, well, either one thing's got to change. Either the market price of a wrap goes up, or, you know what? You know, supply's going to come down? Not a chance. That's going to keep skyrocketing. The labor, you expect to pay guys less. Maybe there's a different strategy of hiring.
Everybody was forced to pivot.
Exactly.
Yeah. And not every shop can raise, like we've raised our prices consistently over the past 24 months. Mm-hmm. Not every shop is capable of doing it, so.
I mean, the difference
exactly.
Also,
not everyone can. Think about the other guys, not the people in this room. Like there's a recession coming. There's no doubt about that, and it's going to last like 1-3 years somewhere in there, and like there's going to be a lot of unemployed wrappers. So all those guys that left your shops and started their own, the likelihood of them coming back is very high.
Today's rent.
With color change though, you can make money, especially because you can't. The product's not on for that long. So like with PPF, it's 10 years. You see the customer, they get into an accident, maybe you see them again. Color change, you're 3 years, things don't go well, you come back, they want to repair stuff because it gets damaged.
Yeah, but more people PPF their cars than wrap.
Yes, but the question is, I don't disagree with you, but
Yeah.
you can make money doing color change. There's a way to make
market.
money in it.
It's definitely a market.
We do it.
I feel like
Vinyl,
it's
we
the
do it.
proposal.
You do it.
To me, it's the color change is the proposal. It's like, will you marry me?
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like, and just to end my whole
It
thing
is.
off.
It is. You're sacrificing that brain. I'm paying that time. I put in that time. I put it right, and then I'm married. I just married this customer.
Yeah.
I have a similar way of looking at it. I look at color
I
change.
feel like I don't make money on that first time I met that
And you're
customer
right,
with that
and
color
that's
change.
why, like, as a business, if you're looking at it from
Jesus
a
Christ.
That's so deep.
I was like, you're gonna go home.
That's so deep.
You're not gonna see this video.
What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
I just to end my point off, and then please get into this because this is an awesome conversation. It's just I've concluded that I look at color change as marketing. That's it. Like color change to me is 100% marketing. I don't look at it as an opportunity to profit or like run my bills. Of course, I've done a $40,000 job with Tim with that, and then I did it again. It was $80,000. I'm proud of that. I don't know if it's the most expensive wrap, but I feel like it was one of them. But
80 fucking grand?
Yeah, 80 grand.
For a vehicle?
Yeah, it was an insane Lamborghini.
The most famous car.
Chris
That
Brown-
was 80?
Yeah,
Jesus
Those
Christ.
2 Lambos, those were insane.
Yeah, Chris
This
Brown
is my
called me and
favorite
told me
wrap
sleep
ever.
at my house, wrap my car like that, and then he got it done with RDBLA for free. But I was like, I told him no, for the record. Paris Hilton
You
reached
can't
out to me.
copyright those type of things, though, man.
No, and that was the thing. I told him, like, this is an art piece for me. Like, I didn't do this for anybody. Like, I did it for myself. It was in the Lamborghini dealership. He just bought it. And then he's like, I want you to do it to my wife. I'm like, this is the only other time I'll ever do it is because it's to match yours. And it's in his car collection right now. Shmi was just in his garage. DDE was just there. And like, so to me, like, that's my pride. And that was like the peak of my rap career. But anyways, I look at wrapping, even that, like that fills that one job. People still come to my shop today. Like you can ask Madison, like now we get PPF, we get ceramic coating, obviously we get the color change roof wraps, but wrapping today has become marketing for guys like us, right? Like yeah, exactly. It's that gateway drug.
Yeah. I mean, I tell
now you want the PPF.
I tell my partner, I get mad if
Hard-coded calipers.
You're hooked.
If it's just a color change, I get mad.
Yeah, of course.
I go,
You don't
where's
want
the
that.
chrome delete? Where's the paper protection?
Exactly.
Where's the rest of it?
100%.
I do not want it if I don't have the rest of it. I want powder coated wheels. I want to paint the calipers. I want to do the chrome delete.
Tinted tails.
I want to tint the tails.
I want to make money.
You want to fulfill? Yeah. I want to protect the front end of that wrap. I want to do something else. Something has to. Just saying, something else has to be there. Otherwise, I don't want it. Like you said, you are totally right. It's 100%. It is the marketing.
That's also your.
That's that sexy Instagram post, right? And that chrome car, I mean, unless you're Tate and you just got all the chrome. Tate's just a walking marketing machine.
Look at the swag. But for us, our shop, we've been around just doing color changes how we got started. I dipped away from the commercial. I didn't want to do that. We abbreviated our name to SS Customs, and we just went straight for, I only want to do custom. I want to chase my passions, kind of like you were talking about, just customizing cars. And the only way I knew how to do it was through color change. But then people would ask, hey, can you do this? Or hey, can you do that? And then before you know it, I have a problem saying no, I would figure out a way to do it. Whether it was custom wheels or figuring out suspension or powder coating or all these other services that we have as ancillary, like you were talking about, to add in to make it so that way you can do a full package, right? Whether, the vast majority of the stuff we do, but some of the stuff we have to do third party, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, you're trying to achieve, at least for me, chasing my passion of creating something cool through the automotive, story. And to kind of, harp on what you were saying, yeah, color change is a big portion. And I guess our top three is color change, paint corrections and ceramic coatings, and PPF. And those three services we do all in-house. And essentially all of our team we have them departmentalized, right? So that way everybody's doing something, essentially within the department to keep for efficiencies. And, myself, other people, Nino, and other people that are in our team that are helping with operations and processes and everything are trying to refine that so that way we can do things like you guys are talking about where we can make this business model much more efficient. And I think that's what you're working towards right now, is trying to be able to say, okay, how can we position the market so that way it can sustain this regularly? From what I'm hearing, that's what it's looking like is going to happen. So it's a really cool place to be because it's still very early in the industry and color change, but PPF is a huge gamut. It's been taking up a lot of our time, and honestly, it's taking up more and more of our floor space as a service offering because more and more people want it. It's like demand. That's the reason why there's more window tint on the market than there is PPF, than there is vinyl wrap, right?
I think
And
the
I
two of
think
them, you
overall
cannot
it's
say
changed.
no.
You
If
can't.
you're going to be that type of shop, the first thing somebody's going to get, the two first things, is window tint and paint protection.
Yeah.
If you're talking about an exotic,
You can't turn that down.
you can't say no because it brings the person in the door to talk to them, and you're gonna probably gain something later on about it. But if you don't do it, you're losing out.
But
for sure.
we learned a lot from you. We focus on daily drivers now. I know you do exotics too, but you are heavy on dailies. And we do a lot of dailies. We don't bring in the exotics. And if someone just wants window tint, they're not coming in.
Yeah, once
They
we
gotta
got
be
a
coming
grip
in
on
for-
Teslas,
So,
it was like we held on. Because
Yeah.
the factory was 20 minutes from us, 30 minutes from us. And people started bringing them. Since 2012, we've been working on Teslas. They started bringing them more and more. And we started doing more factory projects for Tesla corporate. We're like, man, we got to, stick to this. The market dictates what you do, kind of like what John was saying. And for us, we're in the epicenter, we're in Silicon Valley. So all these manufacturers, Ford Research Innovations, General Motors, Autonomous Division, Lucid, Rivian, they're all right there. So we get to work with a lot of these companies. And we finally got our first big fleet contract work with one of the big three. And that's all we've been doing for years now. That's the reason why 15% of our business is commercial, simply because of that singular contract. And it boggles my mind sometimes what that can do when you just have one client. This man's built his whole career on and his business with him and his brother and sister on doing it for multiple companies and brands. So there is both sides, but the fact still remains 85% of our business is still color change and PPFs and coatings. And that's because we're passionate about it. To finish off with things, because they're going to walk in this room at any minute, I'm assuming, I will want to go around the room real quick and just do your final thoughts. Yeah, they probably don't even know we're here, but we'll do final thoughts. So just take like 30 seconds.
One word each.
One
word each.
One word, yeah. Final thoughts on just anything you want to leave on the table.
Well, I would like to just thank you, everyone. If you don't know, I'm the latest one in this group. I always look at all of you and was extremely inspired by all of you. And then I was always intimidated by most of you, you know. And I was like, oh, they're so cool, you know. And me sitting here with all you talking, it's very inspiring too, you know. And then I love you guys all. Thank you for all the help, you know.
Of course,
learning a lot from each one of you, and then it's been great.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
I'm just super happy and honored to be here. So I'm still a fan of everybody at the table. Like still a fan.
Likewise,
True, it's so true.
So
That is so true. Like that is so true.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just nice to be in a room with these type of people, especially, you know, travel so far to come sit at a table like this is pretty cool. But yeah, it's nice that like everyone's kind of pivoting, and you know you're not the only one. So it's quite nice to know you're on the right track. So yeah.
I think for me it's like just family, man. Yeah, there's no other industry right now at SEMA sitting at a table having a conversation. There's no painters, there's no like fabricators sitting at a table right now that have been to each other's houses, shops to help them. You know, like painters don't get together to do this kind of shit. This is an industry like it's family. Like I talk to you guys more than I talk to people in my neighborhood. You know, like I talked to Matt every other day. I was at his wedding. That's like the first wedding I've ever been in.
Wow.
But like at the end of the day, bro, it's family. Like it's surreal. You know, every day like we just push each other. You know, I appreciate that. It's amazing.
For me, it's like work harder, not smarter. If you like PPF, do PPF. Do rep or PPF, do this. Whatever you're passionate about, get your money and do whatever you like, you know. And that saves the week. That's what helped me, so it works out.
Yeah, I'm also saying enjoying the everyday, the exciting vlog, exciting holiday, and I hope so to visit the next New York. I hope so the spring.
Yes.
Not winter. And Hawaii.
You want spring?
I hope so.
I was gonna say St. Louis is nice in the spring. Right?
Okay. Lock it in.
And Hawaii.
Siri, book spring.
And Canada. Everywhere. I want to go.
You want to
next
come in the
year.
winter though.
Yeah. And see you again to them another home shops. And of course the next year, SEMA show again. I hope so.
I need to move, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care.
See you.
Yeah.
Have a good one, bro.
Thank you, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you need to stop us, swap back.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
See you. Who's are you?
Yeah, for real, it's been a real honor to grow with you guys. Honestly, if you guys weren't around, I don't think I would be at this position. Like, I don't think mentally I could have been staying in this position. You know, when you sit and you grind and you're sweating and you know you can't leave, and you know you got another 4 hours to finish what you're doing, you know, you think like, I gotta keep up, I gotta grow, I gotta expand, and you know, I gotta create this future for not only my friends, but my family. And you know, as you get older, you start to really, you know, everything starts to become like pretty clear. So, you know, I'm glad we're making a big step personally in my life, going to a newer, expanded shop. It's been a long time coming. It's been 5 years.
You know, it's been 5 years, and I didn't think it was going to come, and that's why you're coming in spring. But you know, it's a big step, and I'm glad that everybody got to grow, and we all got to do it at the same time. You know, and it's amazing to see where everybody's been and where they came. You know,
yeah, and where they're going.
It's hard to even explain, but it's been an honor, for real.
I guess to feed on that, like, I recognize kind of two takeaways from this whole conversation is, one of it is recognizing opportunity and then capitalizing on it. Like, recognizing opportunity is one thing, but capitalizing on it is a completely different thing, and it takes a different mindset to do that. It's very difficult to recognize it, and it's even more difficult to actually take action. So that's a big thing, and then the other thing would be efficiencies. I think everybody talked about how efficiencies have just increased their business in indefinite ways. So making sure that you're staying efficient, your people are staying efficient, and you're just having that mindset is huge. So I just recognize those two things through the whole thing.
I would agree. Two things for me too. Number one, like, don't let the job take over your life, right? Like, just spend more time with your family. Go fishing, you know, ride dirt bikes with your fucking kids, you know, like, that's fun.
Build a camping trailer.
Yeah, build a camping trailer and not sell it to John. You know, whatever. And second, man, it's like, I appreciate you guys pushing me, you know? There's not a person at this table that's gonna outwork me, all right? I'm gonna be real with everyone here. But the push that I get from you pushes me to a level that I could never, ever have achieved without the drive, from just wanting to beat everyone in this room, you know? And I love that.
Word.
Absolutely love that.
Appreciate it.
I would say for me, it's been enjoyable to watch your evolution, each of you, and the dedication to your craft. I've been with you guys now for 5 years, and I basically, since I can't do what you guys do or don't do what you do, I've watched you all. So that's just been a huge enjoyment to see. And the opportunity that exists, you know, for all of you to be able to continue to master and teach what you've mastered to other people, and the passion that you guys have for it and the purity of that passion is really impressive, because it's not corrupt, it's not jaded, it's genuine, and it's been very enjoyable to be a part of. So thank you.
Absolutely, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I mean, every single person at this table has helped myself, as well as I know that every single person at this table has helped each other as well. And I know I can be almost the last one to say it, but thank you for being there for us through those years and being there for every one of those moments. I mean, shit, when you break something in the shop, you're not the only one. Shit happens. We're all human. And at this table, we have been able to realize that to a whole nother level. And, you know, just explaining that human-esque quality, like we said, we live all around the world. And the one thing I will stress to everybody, and I'm going to say it, but every single one of us at this goddamn table should be at FESPA, and we should all be going international with this stuff and be able to actually truly see and experience it the way you should, which is not in your hometown. Because it is a whole nother game when you go across the pond. I'll tell you that. I got to see it once, and I definitely want to see it again, but I'd like to see it with every single one of us, because I know that I personally do not want to do that competition, but I know that Shane is the type of person that wants that trophy more than myself could ever want.
He likes trophies.
And I know you do. Yeah, but see, he's done that before. Duever's done it, but I know that after this trip, the passion I saw in Shane and just the drive of like how he was so focused, and to see that, I mean, shit, man, I just want to cheer on my friend in the stand. Like, that would be cool for me to experience. And I think that for everybody in this industry, travel, talk to people, understand that you can do that anywhere in the world. And this might open up a door for you that you never knew existed, and allow yourself to be uncomfortable, because once you're uncomfortable, that's when you can actually grow.
100%.
I gotta be honest, when I put that team together for 3M and I threw you guys this like 1 hour thing out of my mind, and we were able to put it together. You know,
That was
it was wild. I don't know. That was wild. Like I know, like it was like to me, it was like a dream team moment. Like I felt like
when you stretched that hood, dude.
I didn't know this thing was.
So
I didn't know
happy.
this thing was gonna look good or not, but whatever we were doing, I literally drew it up the week of. I gave them the plan in the morning, and they're looking at me like, "Are you stupid?" Yeah, they're like, "Are you stupid?" I'm like, "I don't know, bro, but I think we could pull it off." And he's like, Trevor's like, "All right, let's do it." And it was like, it really was like a dream, kind of a dream team moment. And I'll take any one of you guys, or I think we can be like a dream team and do something like really cool like that. And I would love to be a part of that.
We did wrap.
We
wrapped a Tesla in like 18 minutes.
Yes, and I'm so mad that I wasn't there.
Yeah, I was pissed about that one too.
Oh yeah, you.
We can do it again. We both ran out of making on that one.
A 10-minute Tesla. I don't know.
17 minutes?
18 minutes.
18 minutes.
David's stick figure was there, right?
It's
No, I know, but you need to rewrap it.
In 16 minutes.
All right, 30 seconds.
Pretty
Yeah,
well.
guys, listen, I'm echoing everything that everybody's saying. At the end of the day, I'm on my phone every morning, checking the Instagram, checking what you guys are all doing, and that shit fires me up. So at the end of the day, the one thing I am working on is I'm working on trying to bring something back to this industry, because this industry gave me a career, gave me everything I have, and I'm just working on kind of trying to get back. That's about it.
Appreciate
Cool.
We see you.
For sure.
You can't talk about it.
For sure.
Give me some time.
I would say, listening to a lot of you guys, I would say passion, finding passion in what you do. Whether it is something in commercial sector or custom sector, chasing the dollar is not going to really help as much as chasing what it is that drives you within your company and your organization. If it's the people, if it's the craft, the art, like Joffrey was saying, or something else. Pushing yourself amongst your team, if you're a leader, to be the hardest working person in the room, always. That's how you're going to be able to lead by example. And I guess lastly is just saying that the people that are around you, build them up as you go. Your team members, whoever's working with you, side by side with you, spend time, focus time on building them up and putting higher values with them to get them into a better place in life. And I promise you, like John was saying, whenever you do things like that for your team and the people around you, it's going to come back full circle. None of us at this table can ever say that there's not something that we did that was self-made. It was people, everybody in this room that's sitting around here, and all the other people that's been around us in our personal lives have all played a huge part, if not a tremendous part, in the successes of everything that we do. So
I'm sorry, I
wanna
got
make
to back
sure
up
you-
Sharif. I went to visit him just really quickly, very quick story. This guy, we're on our way to a restaurant. We passed by this car. It's some guy that used to work for Sharif, quit, left, started his own business, and he's talking to them like they're best friends. You know, and that's the kind of thing that inspired me on a whole new level. Where it's like, everyone in this room probably had someone quit, leave, and it was like bad animosity. Like, I truly believe that the way that Sharif runs his team is like that's goals. That's like,
it ain't easy. It ain't easy doing that, but it when you do the right thing, if you put it in your heart that you're doing the right thing for that person, that we're here for a short time, and you're trying to do the right thing for that person to build them up, because nothing lasts forever, speaking of ourselves, then things start to change. You start having a different perspective. So it's really, really awesome. I want to say thank you to all of you. I'm super, super humbled by the kind of people that are sitting at this table and have taken the time out of their busy schedule during this crazy week and to sit here and talk shop, talk business, and everybody that's supporting and being around you or is an avid part of the company and business that's here as well. And thank you. Huge, huge props and thanks to all you guys.
Yeah, thanks for
much
putting
love.
together.
Thank you, Pat.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, of course.
This was much needed, and I'm looking forward to doing many, many more with you guys in the future. So, let's get it.